What's up, everyone? It's been a while. Um, a lot of things have happened since I've made a video. First off, I crashed the hack wagon. I'm gonna throw some pictures in now. Yeah, so that sucked, but I fixed it all up. It's fine now. It's driving. It has snow tires on it, so it looks really lame and steelies. So this is where it was crashed. Obviously, I still need to do the arch over the fender because that's still just a blank silver fender. And this doesn't line up the greatest. The doors don't line up the greatest. The side skirt is nah. That's dented. That's all. Whatever. I don't really care that much anymore. But the other thing was, it's basically this whole big. Okay. So I was driving to work one day, and the house next to the place we were working at, I saw an EF hatch in the driveway, and it looked like it had been sitting there for a while. So I'm like, you know what the heck? So I walked up and I knocked on the door, and this sweet old lady came out. And I'm like, hey, you've got a 1990 Honda Civic hatch in your driveway. Would you ever consider selling it? And she's like, actually, yeah, that thing's been sitting there for a while. We've had it up for sale a couple times. No one's bought it. Blah, blah, blah. Would you take $300 for it? She suggested that price. I didn't. And I'm like, sure. So me and my buddy came back the other day, stole the battery off my friend's Jetta and stole the plate off my friend's Jetta, fired it up and drove it home. So then I had an EF hatch for a little while. I did some body work on that, painted it, did the interior in black, put some Integra seats in it. And I had that for about 3 months. I never really drove it because I didn't get it inspected or registered or anything. But then, basically, I saw a hardbody on Facebook Marketplace for $1,800. I told the guy, would you trade the Civic and like $800 on my end for the hardbody? He said sure. And we were about to do that deal. Then my buddy Evan really wanted the hatch. So I sold it to him for $1,000 and just straight up bought the hardbody, which looked like this when I bought it. Then it went to this. And now it looks like this. So now I've got a hardbody that I'm doing stuff to. So this is the interior. Excuse my mess because this is my work truck and I use it for work things. But I've got a S13 steering hub in there and an NRG wheel with a Sparco center cap that was for my wheels in the Subaru, but I just stuck in there. And it's got some not diamond steelies, but like the Jegs ones or whatever. And today I'm going to be re-drilling the leaf spring shackles in the rear to make it lower and cranking down the torsion bars in the front. I will get drop spindles, mark my word. Completely forgot the whole point of why I took the camera out. Today I'm going to be showing you how to reinforce and plate your crossmember on the hardbody so you don't scrape it off and mangle it. I got this idea from Rice Truck on YouTube and Instagram, and I think I want to do this before I completely slam it so I can actually put it in instead of having the mounting points all bent up and whatever. So I got another cross member from the junkyard from a hardbody, and it's actually in pretty decent shape. It's a little rusty, but it's not that bad. And I got this steel from the hardware store. I wish it was a little thicker, but I'm going to do something to make up for that. I think it's 3 inches wide by 4 feet long. You don't need 4 feet. You need about looks like 18 inches, 16 inches. Basically, you're just replicating this bottom plate and then welding up the corners. But what I'm going to do is I also got this small piece of angle iron, which I'm going to weld onto the corners of it to further reinforce it, because that is thinner than I would like to use. You need a welder for this. So basically, the measurement you want for the length is 14 5/8. But I already marked it out on the blank. I don't know if you can see, it's just kind of like scribed in there. Probably not, but I'm gonna cut it out. I don't think you saw that at all, but not much to see. So now I swapped out to a flap disc to clean up the piece we'll be welding to get nice clean bare metal. This next step isn't 100% necessary. I'm just trying to prevent rust because I live in the Northeast. I taped off the bare metal, and I'm just going to spray here because you can already see some rust starting, but I'm just going to spray that. That's good. Along with the back side of the plate that we're using, because I don't want to have bare metal touching metal without a layer in between to keep the rust out. I know there's a sticker on there, I don't care. I'm just going to wait for that to dry. So now I'm going to be welding the plate.
Bruh. Bruh.
So now it's tacked in place and I can weld it up. All right, so that's all welded up, and by no means am I a good welder, so I need to grind these down anyway to make these fit on the corners. That's the next step. Okay, so that's kind of welded on. That's where I started, and that's where I sort of got the hang of it. You can see the coloration from the weld penetrating pretty well. Now I gotta flip it around and do the corners, but looks pretty good. That's a pretty substantial gap I'm gonna have to fill, but it's pretty flush with the first bend on it, so that's pretty good. So here's the finished product, if it would stop swinging. Not pretty, but it's going under the car, so who gives a crap? So now I'm going to paint it to stop the rust. Ooh, it's boiling off because it's still hot. And there you go. That's how to reinforce your cross member on your Nissan Hardbody. So now I won't scrape through it when I'm dragging frame everywhere.